Hey guys, and welcome back to more Seduce Me, the Otome. In the first episode, we opened up the game and got a little bit of the plot rolling as we met our main character, Chara, or her default name Mika, and we arrived at the mansion. So why don't we just kick things off with a hopefully shorter part. I hope that none of the other parts are going to be as long as the initial one, just because it takes a little bit to get the starting rolling before you actually meet the boys that you can date. So, we are back in the game. So let's open the front door and see what's awaiting us inside. Well, might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here for quite a while anyways. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor was a group of men. They were all unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were here in the first place. I dropped my bags as I let the door close behind me. Huh? Who the heck are these guys? Why are they here? What's going on? Some of them had open wounds. The blood was staining the floor and the scent was intermingling with the air. Who are you guys? I forgot. Otto. No response. I'll call the police. Still nothing. None of them seemed to be awake to answer or respond to me. It seemed surreal to have random strangers in the house I just moved into. But I wanted answers, quickly. That was until... Get away from me.
You're going to let me kiss you.
I couldn't believe it myself, but within a mere blink of an eye, one of the men went lying on the floor to being right in front of my face. What was even more odd was the fact that I felt serene and calm about it. Slowly, a desire burned in my chest, telling me to accept his kiss, even when my mind I've never seen this word before. Refusal. Go ahead. As he kissed me, I could feel my body go weak. I didn't know why, but that kiss was draining me of my energy, and yet it was so good and made my heart sing. It was a strange and tingling feeling that danced over my every nerve. I could feel streams of intangible energy run up my body into my lips. It felt odd, but at the same time,
Sam,
amazing.
Stop it.
The person kissing me, Sam was his name, glanced behind
I
him.
said stop. Now.
Fine.
Finally, he pulled back and I was left there standing in a daze. What? I couldn't tell what was going on. My mind was completely enwrapped by the kiss and my thoughts that melted into the depths of my forgotten memories.
Please forgive my brother. He's a bit reckless.
At least I feel a hell of a lot better than you right now.
Because you used your abilities on her.
Sam, you're such a reckless brute, taking advantage of a beautiful young woman like her.
Shut that pretty boy mouth of yours before I rip it off your pretty boy face.
Jeez, you guys, can we not fight right now? Not all of us are in the best state.
I guess you are right, Matthew.
I agree.
However, as the men got up and started to chat freely, my thoughts began to reassemble, and I remembered my confusion and anger once again, only now multiplied tenfold. Can't blame you after somebody just stole a kiss from you. What?
Huh? Did you say something beautiful?
And I exploded. What is going on? Why the hell are you all here in my house? Why are you all wounded? Why did you kiss me? Who are you guys? Why am I talking so fast? Why am I still blushing? I couldn't help exploding, but after being taken advantage of and being left in a mush state, my words escaped without filter. I definitely scared the men around me, even the man who kissed me. I love their faces. So shocked. Wait a second, the guy who kissed me...
Ouch! What's your problem?
What's your problem? You can't just go around forcing people to kiss you like that. Are you some kind of pervert?
Pervert?
Baka?
It was only a kiss!
It might mean nothing to you, but it means a lot
What?
to me.
Was it your first kiss?
Dots.
Ow! Hey, what was that for?
I know fur kisses aren't exactly amazing and full of sparkles and something out of a fairy tale, but I had at least expected it to be more than just something forced.
So it was your first kiss. Stop making such a big deal out of it.
Punch. Are you asking me to get punched
what do you
again?
want me to do? It's not like I can somehow take it back.
And
Ow!
punch.
You're just being violent now!
You deserved it. Anyway, if you try any funny business in the future, just fair warning, I know Taekwondo. She'll kick some butt. I think I'm bickered enough. Time to get back to the main issue. So, what exactly are you all doing in my house?
Miss, please forgive us in our intrusion. We didn't know this abode belonged to anyone, nor did we have the time to take that into consideration.
Well, what do you mean? You don't just barge into people's
We wouldn't have had
homes.
to if we weren't as wounded as we are currently. We just escaped from a deadly fight that could have ended our lives. Luckily for us, your home was near and the windows were unlocked, so we quickly came inside.
Last I remembered, there were laws preventing strangers from stepping on private property. Although, considering the severity of their wounds, it had to be serious. So, let's just ignore it. Let's not kick out the wounded hot men. I guess that explains the wounds, but not why he kissed me.
Well,
Like the fuck?
lovely flustered lady, it's hard to explain, truly. We're not exactly normal.
Not normal? What, are you guys demons or something? I asked almost jokingly, but the boys seemed to take my question differently.
Well, yeah, actually, something like that.
Eh?
We're incubi, miss. Demons who consume and use sexual energy of humans to survive.
Very straightforward with what they are. Like, let's not even hide the fact that they're not even human. Incubi, the fabled demons that exist to haunt humans and make them sex-crazed monsters. The mythical beings that could look like anyone just to get into your pants. They are sex demons! I approve of
Hello?
this.
Did you hear him?
We're telling the truth.
Do you think she's still processing it?
Yes, and she'll understand right about...
Right. It was funny while it lasted, but I think time to chuck. I can't talk. Joke short, not funny anymore. You don't exist.
Ahem. Incubi is the correct plural form. And yes, we do exist.
Grammar Nazi. Prove it.
Very well. Eric, go ahead.
Very well. My sweet, you're so tempting with such non-belief. Let me ease your mind with a tender kiss. I promise you'll enjoy every minute of it, and maybe you'll even want more.
What? Mhm. Once again, I felt lost in a pool of calm and serenity. Staring into Eric's eyes, I felt waves of heat course through my chest and onto my face. Panting. I mean, she could be panting. Depends on how into this she is. Painting my cheeks red in their wake, I couldn't help but nod and agree to his offer. Yeah, okay. Oh, is this... Okay, I think now I get what the warning is with the implied rape. Because they never really ask her at this point if they want to kiss her. But I mean, that's not really I don't know if that would be considered rape. It's more assault. But, meh. But yeah, this is as worse as it gets. It's them just forcing their abilities onto her. They don't do anything worse. With another kiss, my heart began to flutter once again in my chest, and my mind was sent spinning in a heated passion-filled pleasure. Yet, I could feel my body drain of energy as he kissed
All right,
me.
that's enough.
Aw, very well. I feel so much better.
If you can't tell, Eric is the playboy of the group. As he pulled away, I was left in a mental mush pool, yet again. I felt weak in the knees, despite my will demanding me to stand straight in front of the boys before me. The world around me began to spin as I tried to speak. I think I'm going to...
Where are our manners? I'm James, and these are my brothers. Sam, Eric, Matthew, and Damien.
Miss,
Mhm.
are you okay?
Shit. She fainted.
I couldn't believe it. Incubi. Real. It all spun around in my head until I only saw black. Floating in the darkness, my mind kept replaying the scene over and over and over again, reminding my body of the touch of the incubi's lips against mine. However, I began to feel the smooth silk around me, and my eyelids unwillingly opened. Where? I woke to find myself in an unfamiliar place. Where was Mom? Dad? I was pretty sure this wasn't my room. Oh wait, I lived in Grandfather's house now. Of course it would be unfamiliar. I rubbed my eyes and surveyed my surroundings. It was nice of them to light the fireplace for us, keep us nice and toasty. I was still in the clothes that I arrived at the house in, but I was laying in a silk-covered bed. I remember coming in the afternoon, so I was in nighttime already. Suppressing a yawn, I stretched my arms. Maybe I should order some food for delivery. I was feeling pretty hungry. I was about to sit up, but then I suddenly realized I wasn't alone.
You're awake.
Ah, good. Since when was he standing there? And who the heck was he? A guy in my bedroom? Did we? There's no way. Sorry, I think I was just saying my thoughts aloud. Why was I apologizing to a stranger who only said 2 words since I woke up? Wait, he looked eerily familiar. Then it all came back to me. Incubus. He was an incubus. He and his brothers came here for refuge, and 2 of them kissed me, and then I fainted. And that was how things came to this. Oh. 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 Oh, for some reason the auto didn't turn on. He was leaning against the far wall, looking at me. My heart began to race as I thought of the endless list of possibilities this situation brought me. I hated the thought of being under an incubus's power. Especially in my bedroom. I'm gonna be calm. I actually liked Damien. I took a deep breath. I was sure that if any of them wanted to take advantage of me, they would have already. Yeah, I'm awake
That's
now.
Good.
I saw a small form of a smile on his face, which made me blush a bit. Why, though? One thing still concerned me, though.
I'm not going to use my powers on you.
Huh?
I can read minds. It's an ability I was born with. Each of us has a different ability, outside of our usual mind-altering powers.
Great. Even more surprises. I grew even more worried about the situation I was in. I see. How
For
long
a
have I
few
been
hours.
asleep?
It's already gotten quite dark outside.
Well, where are the others?
My brothers are downstairs, cleaning up the blood from the lobby floor. And making you dinner as an apology.
Good. This girl is hungry.
Oh, it's the least we can do after invading your home, and 2 of us using our powers on you.
He does have a point. Alright, I had forgotten about that. It still irked me that they had practically forced it upon me. Even if they were demons, it was pretty rude to demonstrate their powers by kissing me. It wasn't some kind of human toy. All this seemed pretty unreal. It was like something out of the romance novels that Naomi read. Wish I could just go back to sleep and forget about this. Maybe I should just call the police on them, then I would never have to landed myself in this position.
Do you feel well enough to get out of bed?
Yeah, I think so. Whoa!
Trust me, I won't let you go.
I would also like to point out that that whole inner monologue she had, Damien just read because he can read minds. I'm not so sure about this. Okay, I trust you. I was speechless. He was carrying me as with weigh nothing. He's strong. Strong man.
It's all
Carry
right.
me to
I'm
food.
used to it.
I decided to close my mouth for the time being. Well, he didn't seem to mind carrying me, or at least letting me talk. Damien seemed very quiet and calm about everything, especially with the situation we were in. However, there was sort of longing in his eyes when he looked at me. It wasn't lustful, it was more admiration? Once we reached the lobby, I decided that I felt well enough to walk again. As strong as he was, it was like he was carrying nothing. I didn't want him to make me carry everywhere. That didn't make any sense in English. Thank you for carrying me, but I think I can walk by myself now. Not saying that I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, not in a weird way. It's not like I get carried around all the time, and I'm blabbering, and it was really nice of you to do that.
It's no problem. I'll be heading to the dining room then.
Alright, see you then. He gently lowered me to the ground before he walked off quietly, disappearing into the shadows of the dark
hi.
lobby. Hi. Suddenly a boy who looked around my age, or possibly younger, bounced up to me. He looked vaguely familiar. Oh, wait. Ah, you're Matthew, right?
That's me. Are you feeling any better now? We were all worried when you suddenly passed out.
I'm
Really?
fine.
Your face is kind of red. Do you feel sick?
No, I'm fine. I'm sure of it. I must have been blushing when Damien carried me downstairs. How embarrassing.
If you say so. I hope Sam and Eric didn't make you upset.
No, they just forced their lips upon me. It's fine. And I mean, I did hit Sam in revenge, so it's all good. Wondered how exactly I got myself into this mess. First my father, then a fight with my father, then blowing up at my father. This is all about my father. I have deep father issues.
Oh, I have an idea.
He shoved his hands into his pocket with a
Wait
cheery
for
grin on his
it.
face.
Wait for it.
Is he trying to do a magic trick?
Ta-da!
That is an evil bunny with a knife. He smiled as he waved it off, then opened his eyes and saw what he was holding, his face frozen in shock.
What did I just make? This is...
What he produced from his pocket was a creepy-looking doll.
What is that?
I'm not sure. Now there creepy music playing, and it just laughed. His face paled considerably, and he dropped to the floor, scooting away from it frantically.
Get it away from me! It might be possessed by a demon or something!
But isn't he a
That's
demon?
not what I wanted to make! I just wanted to surprise you with a stuffed animal or just something to cheer you up. That looks like it came straight out of a horror movie.
Poor Matthew. It's fine. It's fine, young child. You can
What?
have it.
I appreciate the thought, but no thanks.
That's too bad, are you sure? I picked up the doll and waved it around him. It was funny teasing him.
Help! It's gonna kill me!
Alright, I'll stop.
Anyway, I'm heading back to help out with the food. You can come over if you're hungry.
I think I'll go with you then. My stomach rumbled in agreement. I was starving.
Girl's awake.
The girl has a name. Oh, I didn't even know I was gonna say that.
Sam,
Do you want to get hit again?
roast that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
Whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
It's fine.
Good. I hope you'll enjoy the meal we prepared for you.
Meal? For a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting to my head and distracting me. Ah, that's right. Damien and Matthew mentioned that they were making dinners. Apology. Oh god, I burped.
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
Could I command you? Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratively to me, gesturing to the table with a
There we
sweeping
go.
motion.
Dinner's all served.
The table was filled with various food from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion some yummy-looking desserts. And there were yet more and more plates than I could possibly imagined. Whoa, that's a lot of food, and it all looks so
We
good.
hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
What, my sweet?
That's
Me?
enough, Eric.
You're no fun, James.
Girl, I ain't boning you
I
yet.
don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
I don't know what came over me, whether it was his politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his off his arm. James seemed very kind and intelligent. But aside from that, there was something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention, he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
Oh, well, that's kind of a long
I'm
story.
all ears if you wish to tell.
Nah. It's fine. Another
Very well.
time.
Here's your seat then.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
I'm not going to bone you. Go away. Eric was very charming, and his smile pulled at my heart. The way he kept flirting with me definitely designated him as the charmer of the demons, yet there was a little distance in his eyes.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
Huh? Oh, yeah, well, it's fine. I'm saying it's fine way too often when she actually does. I mean, you didn't just get up and grab a kiss for no reason.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear.
I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool. Smack!
Ah! That's going to sting.
Sorry, I panicked. Nope.
I was expecting that.
I drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward, proudly smiled, gesturing to all the dishes with a dramatic
I
sweep
made
of his arm.
almost all of the dishes myself.
Sure you did. Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression, as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly
And
to
I'm
that
the
of a
queen
frown.
of the Nile.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me, you, and James did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
Grammar Nazi!
Little boys will always make mistakes.
Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyedly swiveled back to Eric to
I'm not a little
confront
boy.
him.
I'm barely a year younger than you.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
I couldn't really help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like, in a way, he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric.
Huh? Is something funny?
No, it's nothing at all. Thank you for the meal,
Oh.
all of you.
You're welcome, miss.
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
I'm not
Eric,
sure if
knock
I've
it
even told you
off.
your name. In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. He had this big, tough act, and it was obvious he was physically stronger than the rest of the group, but was there more to him than that?
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
By the way, I don't believe we caught your name even though you know each of us.
Finally, you asked for my name.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
They were all comfortable around me, despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that's just how incubi worked. But I was still curious about one thing. Accuse me. All at once, they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important, like a queen or something.
What is it, miss?
I wanted to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand, yeah. Like being told that a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house was perfectly understandable.
Oh, how do we explain?
We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand?
Now you're just being rude, Sam.
I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand?
No, I mean what specifically happened, you
Well,
numbnuts.
You see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits. So,
Ew,
in order
misfits.
to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, we apologize for the mess we made.
That's fine, I guess. So you're all better now, right?
Yup, All thanks to you.
Huh? Me?
You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy. But we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand to obtain sexual energy. Everyone carries sexual energy, you know.
I was still in shock about their powers. It wasn't just kisses that gave them power, it was anything physical. No wonder I was out for a while. These incubi intrigued me at the same time, and I could also hear a warning
Is there
siren
anything
going
else
off in
you
my
wish
head.
to know?
Well, what do you all plan to do now?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now, James?
That is a very good question. We just got here, and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave.
We can take him easily.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
At that moment, I didn't know what came over me. I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. If they didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes. They probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. They probably would just cause chaos all over town. Or on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. Most of all, they reminded me of back then. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the middle of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. Kinda nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I'd so long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But there was a certain bitterness to that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at that point. And even after that moment, my mother, my father, there was no one to turn to. I was so alone. That's when I decided it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk all the way there and see what he had to say about it. I never met him before then, so it's fine. If no one else was going to help me with that feeling, I might as well go to him. After school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I didn't really know where to go. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I just kind of stood there, back pressed up against the wall, and I looking at the strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. It was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. That was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up, saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person that found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them, though would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement I had imagined when I first moved in. There was a matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking of them as lab rats was making me queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. Oh, darling. Oh god, imagine my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? Probably have them arrested on the spot. This was hard. Maybe I should just have written out pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Heh, nah. Grandfather, are you speaking to me from beyond? They weren't in the same exact situation I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into my fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
That is,
Spit it out already.
You could stay with me here if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads for my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed to make sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, no powers. Unless we are being attacked.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah. Chores.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's fine. It's better than living in this big house all alone.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seem to like the idea except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either. Even if they were incubi. It would go interesting having 5 guys help me take care of the house, given they would follow the rules.
Fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Nope.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help. Maybe it was because I just got an achievement for making that decision.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James' eyes twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
You two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
Ew, swine. Fuck it, laugh. Laugh! Laugh! I looked at Damien, who had been silent the whole time. He was leaning against the far wall, moving his lips to most silently in an empty space between him. Almost out of curiosity, I looked the same way.
It's nothing.
Huh? I looked back to see Damien looking at me with his normal blank face. I couldn't help but stare back, feeling the red taint of embarrassment spreading across my face. Damien smiled, returning his thoughts. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange, eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like part of a family. Oh, okay, Mom. Hello?
Honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Oh, hello, Mom. It is fine. I am eating dinner.
Good, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
Girl, I just moved in.
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I expected to act at the drop of the dime, but she's... I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare
Oh,
things.
that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
Yeah. I know, I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
Thanks,
All right,
Mom.
I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
Hey, nephew. Great. How am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Like Damien said. But for now, this episode's getting a bit too long. So for now, I'm going to cut it, and in the next part, we'll get more into the house party. See you guys then. Bye.